studio today with two special guests, and my first one is Commissioner of the 2nd District, Cook County, Commissioner Dennis Deere. How are you, Dennis?
All right, I am doing fantastic. And yourself?
I'm doing good.
Outstanding.
So, thanks for coming on the show today and talking with me. So now you are born and raised right here in Chicago.
I am.
What side of town?
West side?
The west side of Chicago, west side, right? Not the south side. You know, I'm a south side girl. That's okay.
It's all good. We all in
okay.
together. We in together.
Hey, we're in the 606. If you're a 606, that means you are
all
Chicago.
Right.
Anybody with 604 and the 60 whatever, you are not Chicago. It is 606.
That's right.
That is here. So now, you obviously grew up gangs, violence, drugs, all around, right, in the Chicago area. And yet here you are now. I see you represent some purple and gold.
That means you're a member.
I know that's right.
You know?
So you're a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Where did you go to college?
At Jackson State University.
Oh, you went down south to Jackson State.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
it don't get no better than that.
What did you major in down there in Jackson State?
I majored in special education initially, and then psychology, rehabilitation psychology.
And rehabilitation psychology, and then a few years later, you got your doctorate in
Christian psychology.
In Christian psychology. Now, help me understand what the difference in Christian psychology is.
So that's a great question. And Christian psychology, we utilize the premises of general psychology, but just with a spiritual basis. So we don't just look at the mind and body, but the spirit. We call it the trichotomic being.
The trichotomic being.
Exactly.
That sounds like there's supposed to be three parts to that, okay?
Mind, body, and spirit.
Mind, body, and spirit. All right.
Yes.
And so you, under that psychology degree, you've been focusing over the years, is my understanding, domestic violence?
Absolutely.
And the mind behind what causes one to?
So not only domestic violence, but domestic violence and sexual assault, which are permeating our communities and really doing a campaign of education around those particular topics. And once I got into domestic violence, what I started finding out was I started seeing perpetrators of domestic violence who are the men that are actually doing this. And I started finding that many of them were ex-incarcerated. And so I said, well, wow, many of them are coming in with mental health issues as well as substance abuse problems, but also this domestic violence problem.
So they're coming into the jails with this and then coming out?
Absolutely. Out into the community. So they were
never being helped.
That's right. They were coming into my domestic violence program for me to help them, but they had mental health and substance abuse problems as well. So because I'm a clinician for mental health, I said, well, look, I'm going to begin focusing on this. And then I decided to start a outpatient substance abuse treatment facility.
And so where is that facility located, Commissioner? So
that is located on the west side of Chicago. And certainly, you know, after I was appointed, I had to step away from the work that I was doing there. Because being a commissioner is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. So is the center closed or someone else is running it?
No. So a young lady by the name of Dr. Thomas is now running the center and doing good in the hood. On the west side
I know that's right. You got that tag for me.
making it happen. So she continues the effort. Someone that I had been training since she was doing her externship. And she's just a fabulous young lady. So she continues the work.
So she continues to run that in North Lawndale, you said?
Yes.
In the North Lawndale area. So now, answer me this, if you will. Do I have to come from the jails and then be appointed or, you know, script out to go to the facility? Or can I go myself? Or can somebody recommend it for me?
So
how do I get to,
So both. So sometimes the courts may mandate you to certain treatment services.
Gotcha.
Some individuals just come because their wife told them if they didn't get help, they was leaving them.
Okay.
And then some individuals may be walking down the street and see a sign and say, hey, I need help.
And I need help.
That's
but
right.
You know what? This is an interesting topic to have, as we have just seen 3 or 4 major people with sexual assault coming against them.
Absolutely.
You know, Simmons, the TV, what is his name? On the Today Show. Okay, I'm drawing a complete blank. Mark. I'm drawing a complete blank. Yeah, but you know, these individuals most recently, and chairmen and CEOs of these organizations, they are not most recently jail released individuals.
That's right.
So do they too possibly need to have or should investigate issues that they may have surrounding their mental health, or?
And that certainly is a possibility. I'd say this, that being a clinician doing work in the area of perpetrators of domestic violence, I joined some of the statewide coalitions, et cetera, and I was the only male in that particular arena really fighting for the rights of many of the women. So even today, I serve as vice president of the board of the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault.
As the commissioner?
Yeah.
You sit on that board?
I've been sitting on that board for the last 8 years.
Okay.
So I continue to serve because I have a true passion for helping this cause out.
Well, that is so good to hear. I don't know, Commissioner Dear, but then you're also Dr. Dear, and so, you know.
So some people call me Dr. Commissioner.
I was gonna say, I was like, I need to come up with a new name. It's like Dr. Commissioner, Dr. Dear.
That's right.
You know, because that is, both of them are of service, right? Obviously, being a doctor and with psychology, because there is no like sew you up an immediate fix or repair a broken bone or anything like that. This takes a commitment and a love and a care for this individual to convince them and work with them to get out of, to address the issues that they have.
That's right. And I would also add that since I've been on the county board for about 4 months and 19 days now.
All right, congratulations.
Last month we did introduce an amendment to our ethics ordinance for sexual harassment.
Okay.
So we introduced that as the newest commissioner on the county board. That is my wheelhouse. I'm probably the only one on the board with experience conducting sexual harassment training and doing sexual harassment, creating sexual harassment curriculums.
All right, and so in doing that, like we just said, this is something that obviously has been around careers, whether it was TV and movies, whether it was you know, corporate-owned businesses, whether it was just, you know, regular. Everybody thought about it, you know, the secretaries with bosses 100 years, right? That was the only way, but apparently that's not.
That's not.
And see, you are an expert for me to ask the question, because I said there's going to come out where there are men being assaulted by men as well in these areas.
Statistically, about 7% of the men indicate that they were actually sexually harassed by women.
And that's the other way I was going to mention too, because you also have that.
But again, statistically, 41% of women said that they were actually sexually harassed in a workplace, and 60% of them said that they chose not to report it because they didn't think anything was going to be done.
And when you have Simmons, young lady coming out from 1991, you almost want to think that was probably her thought process.
And Bertina, I think that today, because we've had so many people come out, it's created a safe space for individuals to feel, okay, now it's okay for me to tell my story.
I won't be looked at.
And I won't be ridiculed from telling my story. And so, you know, I say to all of the ladies out there, and men, and we are continuing to pray for you and know that we are in this fight with you.
Right, and that, you know, the only way to begin the healing, though, is to raise your hand and say something about it.
That's absolutely
because otherwise no one knows. So this woman went 25, almost 26 years with this issue that she had against Simmons and never said anything.
And I think we also have to do a better job of education. So we have to have a campaign of education, which is why I introduced the amendment to the ethics ordinance to make sure that all commissioners actually are getting sexual harassment training on a yearly basis. All lobbyists that lobby with Cook County are getting that training. Why? Because
everybody. What about not the governors, the senators, and everybody?
Well, we don't have jurisdiction.
You don't have but you can push it up
with Cook County. But the state also did propose legislation, actually passed legislation.
Okay. I was going to ask you, has it passed? So where are we? So you positioned it, it's passed?
I positioned it, and we will vote on it next week.
Oh, you're voting next week, okay.
It is in committee now, but it was introduced. It's in committee now. We think it's going to be passed unanimously on next week.
And this is, let's just break down what it is that you positioned and you are hoping will pass. And that is that the training will happen for all these individuals. That everybody will be required to have training under sexual harassment.
On a yearly basis.
you know what? See, now you talking my language.
On a yearly basis.
Dr. Commissioner, because to have it one time,
right,
you know, doesn't do anything. Because something can happen in my life that triggers me to change my thought process.
That's right.
And now where I was good last year, I'm not so good this year.
That's right. And so we want to ensure that people know. Oftentimes, individuals don't know even what sexual harassment is. So as I was standing in line to submit my petitions, I was first in line.
Okay.
As I was standing there, I heard an individual give a young lady a compliment. And he says, "Oh, Commissioner Deere, I'm sorry about that because you introduced that ordinance, so I don't want to get caught up." And I said, you know what? The good thing is that education tells you that that wasn't sexual harassment. It becomes sexual harassment if she says that she's uncomfortable with what you said, how you said it, and how you're staring at her. And if you continue to do that, then it becomes sexual harassment.
So when I said on my show the last couple of days as I've been reporting on this, I said, ask the young lady out.
Yep.
When they say no, move on.
Keep it moving.
That's right. So that's not sexual harassment to ask me to go out because that's the only way this is going to happen.
But if she says no,
I'm not interested.
You got to call her names and all this stuff. Because now
sending us stuff.
Into a whole it ain't classy either.
Right.
But it still moves into a whole scenario of sexual harassment.
Right. When you begin to say, now I don't feel comfortable coming to work.
Right.
I don't want to wear this skirt because somebody is right. He could be doing this. He could be doing that, and all of these things. And so, you know, Doc, I'm so glad you came on the show to help us begin to do that. So now just tell me briefly before we go to break about, you know, you are rerunning for your second district?
So I am running for the first time.
Oh, you're running? You were appointed the first time.
4 months and 19 days ago after my good friend, Cook County Commissioner Robert Steele, passed away. He was my mentor, and I've been working with him for over 25 years. And his family. And so I was appointed, and I continue to fight for some of the same issues that I was passionate around, and that is economic development, public safety, and healthcare. And healthcare, the whole mental health and substance abuse piece falls under healthcare. And so in the coming months, I'll be introducing an ordinance around mental health and substance abuse. That's my wheelhouse as well. Economic development, from that standpoint, I believe entrepreneurship is key. We have to be a wealth in our community. So we have to create entrepreneurs and help those entrepreneurs that are there take themselves to the next level. How do we do that? We help them to start doing business with Cook County government. We don't have enough minorities, African Americans, doing business with Cook County. And so we want to make sure that we change that. How do we do that? A good campaign of education of the how-tos, and then how do we go and take that to the next level? Right,
and giving them access to somebody to follow up with questions and concerns when I get stumped at the road where I don't have this, do I need to keep doing it? You know, and of course, people don't understand when you're running a business and you're doing all this, then you need to stop to fill out these extensive applications and paperwork. You get stuck, and then you say, you know what, forget it, and then you just keep going with what you're doing.
Or after you've done that, now what's my next step?
Right.
I become certified.
Now what do I do?
Need to do?
Right, absolutely.
How do I make some money off this certification? But the way the system is set up now, individuals are kind of left out there in the cold.
Then they don't know what to do and how to do it.
My plan is to change that. We're going to make some amendments to our current contract compliance ordinance, and I want to see more education. And my vision and dream is to actually see contract compliance out doing trainers with the small business development centers all across Cook County, training them so that the people that actually staff those centers can actually answer all the questions regarding the contract compliance process, how to actually get contracts, so forth and so on.
All right.
And then we duplicate ourselves.
Right. Then you have more people available to accessing the information. You all heard it right here on Empower Hour with Bertina Power, Commissioner, 2nd District Commissioner, running for re-election in the March elections.
And March 20th, 2018, please come out and support us, exercise your right to vote. And keep in mind, this ain't a campaign that we're talking about. This is a movement. I will leave you with this. Socrates said, if you always do what you've always done, you're going to always get what you've always got. The next one is a deerism. And that means I made it up, right?
Come on with it.
In order for you to get something that you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. come on out here and help us make this change.
I know that's right. So I don't have to give a quote now at the end of this show because he just gave my quote of the day. Get out there and do something you've never done to get the results you've never got before. All right, we are taking a station break and we're going to come back with our second doctor for today. It's Tuesday, Empower Hour. We're talking with the docs. Don't forget to download the app. If you want to call in, the number is 312-754-4333. Thank you, Dr. Commissioner Dennis Deere. All right.
Pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
All right.
All right. Listen, sounds good. Thank you.
What's up.
You know what? But you know what? Since I don't know if you leaving or not, or you staying, we got to come over here and take a selfie.
You
might stick around. All right. Well, we gonna take us a selfie that we gonna post. All right. Yes, now this is your phone?
That's my phone.
I don't know whose phone this is. This is Doc, leave his phone here. Come on, Doc. All right. All right. Well, I'll see you after the show, then. Don't make us high five.
That's what's up.
All right. Come on over here, Doc. Have a seat with me. That somehow I didn't manage to print yours off, but that's okay. I have it on my phone. Say hi to the people. Hey, everybody. All right. See? I'm flipping the script. Yeah, you put those on so we can hear. Now say it again. How do I say it? It's foggy. Foggy. Yeah, okay. I had it wrong. I was going to say foggy. It's foggy. Foggy. What's the first name?
Goldwyn.
You wanted to say Goldwyn. Of course, I wanted to say Gwendolyn.
Yeah, Goldwyn.
And then what's the address? You gonna
Goldie.
Okay,
The address
go.
of our center is 9933 South.
And you know,
it's 9933
Southwest. I know where it is because I drive past it every day to drop Brandon off at
That's cool.
at Mother Park Academy, and I've been like, I'm gonna come in there, but then you're not open that early in the morning, and then I don't go back by that way in the evening anymore. And so I was just like, I'm gonna get over there. And then when I realized that these two were the same, I said, you have got to be kidding me how small this world gets with. It is so small. It is very small. But this is why, as my parents and everybody has always said, that's why you have to treat everybody, you know, how you would want to be treated, because you have no idea when they are coming around and you're going to need them or have them representing you in some form of fashion. All right, sounds good. So we're going to, we're going to be on a break, so we will come in and talk about you and your experience and some of the stuff that, look at you. That is it. And now, okay, we just say hi to everybody. Hey, everybody, Carla. Hey, Carla, watching. Oh, hey, Gina, you love the jury. Thank you. She's my cousin. She always love it out. Hey, Matt Laura. Yes, Mount Laurie. Yes, I could not come up with that name. You know, I was drawing a complete blank, Clarence. Thank you. Hey, Michelle, you watching it and listening on the app. That's what's up, okay? It is a delay when you do it that way. National syndication is definitely possible. Oh, you speak that into the existence. You go right ahead. All right. Mark Allen. There you go right there. You joined in. That's so terrible. Okay. Hey, Sir Cam and Freddie and Tamiko and Tracy. You know, if you don't say hi when they go past, I can't get back to you anymore. Hey, Erica. Who was that? Tree, Aiden, Reginald, okay, Daryl, Maurice, Karen Haggerty, Arnold. We coming back to me. All right, hello. Welcome back to Empower Hour. This is Bertina Power, and you are listening to Urban Broadcast Media. Now, I'm live in the studio with a switcheroo today. I had Dr. Commissioner Dennis Deere, 2nd District, who's running for re-election in he was appointed, so he's running for the first time to keep his seat over there. But he was talking about mental health and domestic violence. And today, the second half of my show, Talk to the Doc, I have Goldwyn Foggy. Now, she wants me to call her Dr. Goldie, which works out for me. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And she is here because she also has a degree in psychology?
I do.
Okay, but you work now currently in what line of medicine?
Well, I've been practicing OB-GYN for 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, in the last year, I got board certified in obesity medicine.
In obesity medicine. Now, somebody was teasing when I just came out of here. Take that out of here. That's somebody's phone. That when they said, you know, OB-GYN, one way to lose weight is just to give birth. That was a joke. That was a joke from somebody with regards to that. So now, you are you born and raised in Chicago, Don?
I am.
Born and raised in Chicago, and where did you go to school?
Northwestern.
Oh, yeah, you stayed close to home.
I did.
You
Class
stayed
of 1988.
class of 88 from Northwestern?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to high school?
Academy of Our Lady.
Oh, okay. That's all girls now, right? All
All
girls. Yeah, we had somebody on that was a co-ed from Catholic school days. You know, those Catholic school days in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So now you went to school with the intentions on being an OB-GYN?
I actually majored in psychology.
Right, you majored in psychology.
Yes,
So
to Dr. Deere. My intentions was to become a psychiatrist, and
Okay.
I changed my major. And I was interested in women's health.
women's
So
health.
OB-GYN became the area where I felt comfortable in and where I flourished in.
And where you flourished. And so 20 years you've been practicing that
I
and
have.
giving birth, not giving birth, but helping women give birth. But then somewhere along the lines you switched a focus or added, not switched, but added the focus of wellness and weight loss.
That's right.
How did we get there?
Oh my gosh, I became so interested in health and fitness and nutrition as
Mhm.
I experienced seeing a lot of patients become sicker, and they develop so many comorbid conditions related to being overweight and obese.
Such as diabetes.
Yes, diabetes, and even during pregnancy, birth
Mm.
dystocias and complications and preeclampsia are all related to weight problems. So I began studying weight loss medicine, and even, you know, I have a personal story. My parents suffer from diseases related to being overweight and obese, and I lost my dad actually at a very early age, and it was all due to complications of being morbidly overweight. So in studying obesity medicine, I became really passionate about helping people learn to eat better and to live better, and teaching nutrition and health and fitness, and that's
And that's how that bore wellness. What is this? What is your store location? Illinois Wellness.
Yes, our practice is an obesity medicine practice, and it is called Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Centers. And we're in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and we're on 9933 Southwestern.
Give the address again.
Avenue,
99
9933 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago, in the Beverly area.
in the Beverly area. And what are your hours of operation? You open Monday through Saturday,
Monday through Friday,
Okay.
and 2 Saturdays of every month. We are there.
Okay.
We are
And I've been watching her, and I've been watching your patients because they post, lost 30 pounds, lost 15 pounds, and they're very excited. So you're seeing some extreme results with your patients over there. Not like you're not doing surgery. You're not doing anything invasive. You are teaching them what?
Well, we are medical-based or physician-supervised weight loss practice, and we teach 4 pillars of managing weight. We teach nutrition, behavioral lifestyle changes, activity and exercise, and finally we use medications, FDA-approved medications, to help people as a tool to reach their goals.
So as a tool, you add in the medication, but not. And I was like, I'll just use myself as a frame. I'm a taller individual.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what my weight number should be according to what all those charts say and what I used to be, 20 some odd years ago, then one would consider my weight overweight, believe it or not, on the scale. But everybody else would say, oh no, Bertina, leave it, you're fine.
Yeah.
So what are you using to scale to define, which chart, what are you using to define that? BMI, body mass index, what are you using to define that?
Yeah. Well, BMI is a good, cheap tool to identify people who are at risk for other conditions.
Gotcha.
So it's an easy tool, and it's correlated. When you are overweight or obese, it's correlated to more health problems, and it allows us to identify those people. But we have a bariatric scale,
Mm-hmm.
and we calculate a patient's total body composition analysis. We can calculate your water weight, we can calculate your muscle mass percentage and your fat percentages, and and that allows us in more detail to figure out how your risk for certain diseases is increased or not. And that's really important to help people to reach their goal.
To reach their goal. Now, when it comes down to nutrition, Doc, what is your script? Or, what do you prescribe? Is it customized to each individual, or is it a general concept that you provide to ask them to, meal plan or, eat only proteins? And do you have a focus that you use?
Our program is really customized to the individual, and that's
Gotcha.
why it works. And that's why our program is different from Weight Watchers. It's different from Jenny Craig, because we use customized approaches to each individual to help them to be more successful. So we need, some people may need low carb diets. Some
Gotcha.
people may be on a vegetarian or vegan diet. But we want to help people to find nutrition plans that not only they can use, for a time, but forever.
Forever,
so
right.
They live a life of change forever. Because in order to keep the weight off and to prevent yo-yo dieting, you have to change your lifestyle, and you have to buy into that concept.
And you have to buy into it because it's now fitting my lifestyle. Like, I am one who only eats seafood. So then we would customize my plan to ensure that my protein intake or my meat is not, say, chicken, right? Like baked chicken and, or, have a slice of steak or, I'm like, I can't have this diet. So what do I do to substitute? And so that's why you customize it.
Absolutely. So for the pescatarian, for the meat eaters, for the diabetics, for the vegetarians and the vegans. And in fact, we are having a meal prep workshop this Saturday.
Let's put that info out there. Meal prep workshop. And what cost?
It's $20.
Okay.
And you can find us on eventbrite.com. We are collaborating with Kenya McGuire Johnson, who is a new certified health coach. And she's having a meal prep workshop at our center this Saturday from 1 to 3.
So from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I just want to make sure everybody is hearing us. 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the 9633 Southwestern.
No, 99.
I'm sorry.
Southwestern.
I think yesterday's address was 8633. So these numbers are like correlated. The free house I was telling you all about. Okay, anyway, we're going back to 9933 Southwestern.
That
is where your wellness center is located.
Yes.
And it's huge. You can't miss it. Yeah, you take up like a little mini shopping strip. We got parking in the back, right? Yes, I told you I drive past it all the time. So I've been like, I'm gonna go in there, I wonder. And then who knew it was somebody I already knew, and she had all this going on, and that is so fantastic. Yes. So now you also talk about, let's finish this, meal prep 1 to 3 this Saturday, which is December 9th.
Yes.
And it's $20. I have to have my event ticket purchased before, or can I show up and pay $20 at the door?
Well, we want you to purchase it before so we can plan for the amount of people who are coming.
Okay, and that's at Eventbrite.
Yes.
So what is the title of the event?
It is called, Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Center's Meal Prep Workshop.
Meal Prep. Well, I don't know how you find it on Eventbrite if you don't get the link emailed to you, so that's why I want to make sure that they can find it. But it's this Saturday, from 1 to 3 p.m. that is there. And it's only $20, and it's a whole meal prep training and education on that. Because it makes it easy. I had Dre, my other Dr. Dre, I call her the workout coach from D3. She was on the show, and she was talking about, meal prepping being the key, to successful peace. But you also have activities. Now, you've done some phenomenal activity works. You are a triathlon. Triathlete, I guess, right? You're a triathlete. You've done some triathlons. So tell us about that. Now, you just came out of nowhere and decided to start swimming.
I was a bookworm my whole life.
Okay.
And I never played any sports, never did anything active. By the time I was 29 years old, 30 years old, and my parents were, getting sick with certain diseases, I realized I needed to be healthier. I needed to exercise. Because it's not about the size you are.
Right.
You can be any size and be unhealthy. The important thing is that you institute activity in your life so that you can lower your risk of disease, lower your blood pressure, lower your risk of diabetes and other medical conditions. So I started swimming with Team Dream.
Swimming is the best. A lot of people don't, like to believe that, but because it is one that your knees don't bother you.
That's right.
Your back, all of these areas that, pounding and running and walking and treadmill and weightlifting do, swimming takes away.
It does. And I recommend that my patients who are morbidly overweight who cannot stand on their feet for long periods of time and cannot do that heavy exercise, that they get in the water and do training that doesn't have a lot of pounding on the knees.
Right, some resisting training in the water. And seniors love that too. Seniors love exercising in the water, and a lot of gyms and park districts have those kind of workout classes at little to no money in the water. Those classes fill up all the time.
Yes.
And so that's a good way to do that.
It is.
And so you started swimming, and then swimming led you to running, and then...
Yes, swimming led me to running, led me to biking, and then I started doing races from 5K to half marathon now. I haven't done a marathon yet, but I run a lot with a group of women called the Beverly Beauties in the Beverly area, and who knows, maybe next year I will be doing my first marathon.
Yeah, you'll be doing your first marathon. But now, I don't have to be planning to do a marathon, Doc, to come and join the Illinois Weight Loss Center, right? Because I don't need to come in there and everybody start telling me I got to run 5 miles and work out and doing that. It's not the intensity of the program.
No, not at all. And believe it or not, exercise is not absolutely required to lose weight. I'll repeat myself.
Repeat that again.
Exercise is not absolutely required to lose weight, because all people who need to lose weight cannot exercise. Nevertheless, when studies are done for people who have successfully lost weight and keep it off, they are the most vigorous exercisers.
They're the ones that add it, but it's not necessary. Did you hear her say that, empower our listeners? It is not required, but it obviously enhances the entire process. Because everybody that I've had on the show and everything I've ever learned says 80% of it is the food.
Right.
You get the food, and as you say, behavioral change.
Yes. I'm going to tell you, obesity medicine is so intricate, and this is why we need doctors who specialize in it, because, you know, you hear a lot that it's 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, but overweight and obesity is so complex. It's biochemical, it's hormonal, it's the amount of sleep you're getting, it's the amount of hydration you're getting. It's more than just nutrition and exercise. And
you take an assessment of all of this when coming up with a customized plan for each one, which in turn is why you're having such a successful rate with your patients.
Yes, we do. We do labs on each of our patients. We do EKG. We find out what medicine, if the patient wants medicine. You don't have to have medicine, but if you do want to use it as a tool, we find out and pick the right medicine for each individual person. Okay, so it's not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody takes the same drug. Everybody does the same meal plan. Everybody does this. So everything is customized. I don't think, in all the years I've been yo-yoing up and down and losing weight and all this, I don't think I've ever had anybody do an EKG, you said? Yes. Right, you know, on it, or run labs for that matter. So that means you're really getting down to some core. Now, you also said that your history, like Dr. Commissioner Durr, was that it was that you deal in psychology, and then you feel that that plays a big part into it, right? Oh, it does. All right, well, we're going to talk about that in 1 second, but right now, everybody that's listening, it's time to call in. If you want those WWE tickets for Christmas Day or for the SmackDown on the 26th, 312-754-4333 and win a pair of tickets. You got to call in now, because now is the time I'm saying call in. 312-754-4333 if you want to go see the Monday Night Raw on Christmas. It's Monday night, and then SmackDown on that Tuesday, December the 26th. And both of these events are happening at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, all right? So call in. Don't forget to call in. Call in. 312-754-4333. We are talking to Dr. Goldie, Dr. Goldwyn Fogarty, and she is not only an OBGYN, but she, by yourself or with some partners, run the Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Centers at 9933 Southwestern in Chicago, over by the Beverly area, that is having a meal prep event
on Saturday. What was the time again?
The time is 1 to 3 p.m.
1 to 3 p.m. for $20. You can go on Eventbrite and try to find, go on Eventbrite and find the tickets so that you can purchase that and come in as a good start. We're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to come back and talk more with Dr. Goldie here about the center and weight loss and the 4 things that you say attribute to that success, and try to see if we can get some cost associated with when joining the Illinois Wellness Center, what it's going to cost me. I'm Bertina Power. This is Empower Hour, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You can take them off now. How you doing? Awesome. Yes. You have such a light voice. Yes, you have such a light voice. I'm glad you are speaking directly into the microphone.
Okay.
I know my voice is like over the top. Hey everybody, we just say hi to some people that are in here.
Hello.
I know, right?
Guys.
I know, right? Say hi over there. Robin is over here. She says hi. Hey, Gregory. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Tiffany, Fran, and Andre, Yolanda, and April. Ruffin Smith. She says, hey, Dr. Golden.
April.
Cheryl. Lewis is joining in. Pat. She says, purchase meal pre-ticket via PayPal, too. She said, okay. All right, get us together.
Thank you.
And triathlete. He said, Claire's like, yay. Triathlete, and Steve Simmons, and Vera. Hey everybody, Freddie, Patty, thanks for joining in. I know, right? Both of our phones rang at the same time. It was like, stop calling me. Don't you know I'm on my show?
I want to offer your listeners.
So I was going to ask you next. Can we offer them some kind of discount?
Anyone who buys a meal prep ticket can also receive a free meal prepping book.
So they get the
recipes.
The book, the recipe, which is normally how much?
It's normally like $10.99.
Okay.
Yeah, we can add that in.
We can add that in. Now let me ask you this: what about becoming a client and patient? What kind of cost range is that?
Free consultations for every patient.
Okay.
And we have programs that range from 2 weeks to 52 weeks.
Oh.
It depends on what you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that assessment is done, through you. And I guess we want to also remind them that you have doctor followed process. You have to, you all are following them throughout the steps,
Oh yeah, this is a physician supervised program.
Right.
Yeah.
Physician supervised.
Yeah,
That's the clinical word.
scientifically based protocols.
Okay, so
Yes.
physician
As a
supervised, when everybody always says, get a physician to, verify this before you go.
Right.
All right, put it back on. Hello. Welcome back to Empower Hour. I'm just sitting here gathering all of this information from Dr. Goldwyn Fogarty. I'm calling her Dr. Goldie around here today. And she is not only an OBGY, but not also a licensed or clinically degreed in psychology, but currently also runs a Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Center at 9933 Southwestern. So we were talking about what can the Empower Hour listeners who log in today and want to join, you can do, she said, Eventbrite and PayPal, and find this meal prep. That if you buy the meal prep workshop ticket at $20 and say you are an Empower listener, and that's where you got it from, that they will also give you an $11 meal prep book for free.
Yes.
So you will get that for free. Now, just so that you know, because I know you're asking this question, well, Bertina, how much does it cost to be a part of this physician-supervised wellness center, which I want to reiterate, right?
Yes.
The doctors are following you. How many times have you read about a new program or weight loss thing, and they always say, what? Get your doctor.
Approval.
Right, get your doctor approval before starting anything. And so here's a situation where the doctors are a part of the whole process.
That's right. So we're different from most weight loss clinics. We're not the average weight loss clinic. We are board certified obesity medicine specialists, and that is different.
Board certified obesity specialist.
Yeah.
All right, so that does sound a whole lot different than the norm. But if I want to come in and find out about who I am and what I might have to offer, how much does that cost?
That's free.
Free consultation initially to come in and meet with you all.
Right.
Doesn't cost a thing. And so then the programs are what?
The programs vary.
Okay.
From 2 weeks to 52 weeks. It all depends on what program you need or you want.
Okay, so I can have a 2-week program. Maybe I'm getting ready for the Christmas holiday, New Year's Eve, and drop down, and I can come in and get 2-week program, but I might learn a lot in that 2 weeks that begins to change me for the new year and moving forward. And sometimes people just need a jump start, right?
It's true, and we do have jumpstart programs as well. We're instituting so many programs, something for everybody. We're working on so many new things. And actually, more recently, we've got a new program. It's with our new health coach. Our new health coach is Carla Bonner.
Okay. Hey, Carla. Yeah, she's doing the meal prep.
And Carla, no, she's not actually doing the meal prep. That's another person, Kitty McGuire. But Carla just launched a Journey to Wholeness Through Prayer, a virtual program that she does online. And she invites people to come and pray with her. It's a spiritual focus to help them with their weight loss and their health coaching. She's awesome. All
right, so today Talk with the Doc is about Christianity and praying too, because Commissioner Deere was saying that he has a psychology in Christian health, as well as now you're saying that this young lady has a book where she invites you to pray, and you all are working through prayer, working through weight loss as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I can pick 2 weeks to 52 weeks as a part of my program based on a whole lot of things, right? Maybe cost, time, what my goals are, but then I will have a custom program designed for me in whatever time frame it is that I pick. So free consultation, and if you are getting a ticket to the meal prep this weekend, which is Saturday, December the 9th, from 1 to 3 p.m., you will get a free meal prep book.
That's right.
If you are an Empower Hour listener who has bought a ticket to come and be a part of that. So now we were talking, Doc, also about the nutrition. You mentioned behavioral changes. Now, your psychology, I suspect, is working into that behavioral change. What are some factors that address that?
Oh, it's so many things. There are many people who suffer from emotional eating, mindless eating, their eating disorders, and they all contribute to the abnormality of weight and weight gain.
Okay.
So we do extensive counseling for people depending on what they need. In fact, we have patients who've lost tons of weight just by modifying how they eat, what they eat, when they eat, just by journaling their thoughts and their emotions and dealing with the psychological issues that have contributed to poor lifestyle choices.
Gotcha. So you're saying that, maybe I'm staying depressed a lot because I don't like my job, right? And so then now on the job, I'm eating this crap, I'm eating this, I'm buying this, and I go home, I'm mad. Sunday night, I'm distressed about going to work, and I'm eating more and eating more. And you begin to learn that this is your issue, and journaling through these experiences.
Absolutely.
And then changing it mentally and saying, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to either write out about it, or I'm going to spend this time looking for a new job.
That's right. Healthy alternatives.
Healthy alternatives could mean a new job for you, because this one is not only stressing you, but it is adding weight to my bottom line, as one would say.
This is true, and even people who work nights, so nurses who work nights, or people who work factories, alternating work shifts, they're more likely to develop conditions that cause insulin resistance that could lead to weight gain and diabetes.
Who knew? Because what? Because they have to reprogram their schedule for that, right?
Yes, and there's so many hormones that increase the appetite, that are unhealthy. And when you work nights, you're more likely to have these hormones that are raging, and they increase your insulin resistance, increase your appetite, increase your eating, and then you make poor choices, and you have more risk of becoming overweight.
Do you hear how the doc says this? I love how she's making this so nice. She says, you're making poor choices. Because the reality is, it's a choice. At the end of the day, it is a choice. I have this in front of me, nice green salad with some tuna or whatever, some grilled salmon, or I've got, my fave fried catfish and french fries over here. I mean, they're two opposites, right, Doc? But, I feel like I'm going to get full when I'm done with either one of them, but one was a bad choice and one is a better choice.
This is true. It's all about making, getting to your better. And we make a lot of choices based on how we were raised.
This is true.
Where we shop, the disparities are real. A person's access to healthier choices, a person's access to be able to buy better foods.
But you know what, Doc, you're bringing that up, and I have to bring in some thoughts associated with that. This is a Bertina drop her dime on this scenario, because a lot of people like to say that with regards to some of our stores provided in our neighborhoods, right, in African American neighborhoods. But one of the stores, in fact, two of them now, the Walmarts and the Aldis of the world, have fresh fruit, have vegetables, have these things in here, and have, even if they have the frozen, say, fish or meat or chicken or whatever, how you cook it when you take it home makes the difference. Bake it instead of frying it, right? Put it on the grill instead of frying it, right? And so you have all these available foods.
Yes.
You have access at not an extreme amount of cost.
It's true, but people have got to be taught to choose this.
Right. Well, this is what I'm understanding, but I don't want the fight to be I don't have it available or it costs too much, because they have begun to eliminate that excuse, as one of my docs said on the show. It's an excuse. So they've begun to eliminate that as your excuse. Oh, it's not available in my neighborhood, or it costs too much. All of that goes away when I'm telling you that these two particular stores that I know for sure that run rapid in African American and Latino neighborhoods, that you can then go and get it. Now what you have to do is be taught what?
You have to be taught how to prepare your foods, as you say, how to cook your foods, what's a healthy portion, how not to buy the options that your children do not need in the household. That's really important. So as we prepare for our first meal prep workshop, we're also going to have shopping trips for our patients.
And how that's done, and what the shopping list should look like, and go with a list, and then you won't be impulsive to buy all these other things that are on there. Well, Doc, I thank you for joining me today, and remember, listeners of Empower Hour, that the meal prep class on Saturday, September the 9th from 1 to 3, right?
Correct.
At 9933 Southwestern, which is the Illinois
Wellness and Weight Loss Center.
The Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Center. Now, do we have more than one? Is that the only location?
That is my first location.
That is the first location. All right, now more to come. Now, quick question for all my out-of-towners. How do they benefit, or can they benefit from you or any of the programs and services you offer?
At this time, no. You have to be in town.
Okay.
However, we're working on some things where people can reach us virtually.
All right, so we will keep them tuned in right here on Empower Hour, that as she grows to a virtual way of educating and teaching you about wellness and weight loss, that you will know how to reach them from right here on Empower Hour. I want to thank Second Commissioner Dennis Deere, Dr. Deere as well, for domestic violence, and coming on and talking about that and sexual assault and harassment. And we want to remember our African American and Latinos that are on the tickets in March. Get up and get out and vote for those that are doing what you asked for in your neighborhoods, right? More economic access to small business growth. That's what he's doing. And then for our doctors that I've decided to focus in on our health. And obviously, the same health care and all of that would be important to you as well. Putting people in place to make sure those votes stay in order, that they can come for 2 weeks or 52 weeks, get a physician supervised weight loss program customized for them at the Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Center at 9933 Southwestern with Dr. Goldwyn and her staff that is over there. And I want to thank the both of you all for coming on my show today.
Thanks for having us.
It is Talk to the Doc Day, and I had 2 docs in the show today. You all are getting double dosage around here. Got 2 docs. So I want to just share with you a couple of other events so that you can put them on your calendars for this weekend. We've already talked about the weight loss, wellness, what is it called? Meal prep workshop happening from 1 to 3 about expungement, housing, civil issues, divorce, child custody, SSI. They just don't handle criminal, personal injuries, or traffic. They don't do cars. They don't do any traffic court cases. But everything else, you can come in, bring all your papers, and talk to a lawyer for free. And that's from 4 to 6 p.m. You just walk right in on the second Wednesday. And again, that address is 6220 South Ingleside. All right, I guess nobody wanted the tickets on my show for the WWE, so they're going to still be around. So you call in 312-754-4333. for the WWE Monday Night Raw on Christmas and the SmackDown on Tuesday, December 26th. Maybe Mark Allen will get them given away on his Hear My Voice show coming up now. I am Bertina Power. This is Empower Hour. I thank you for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow at noon doing good in the hood. Bye.
Bye.
All right, all right.